Hey there, dear viewers. Welcome to Obsessed with Werewolves. I'm so glad you're here because I know you, like me, have a passion for all things werewolf. From their captivating tales to their mysterious nature, we're going to explore it all. So let's dive right in and satisfy our obsession together. Freedom. I walk behind a nearby tree and strip off all my clothes. I shift immediately, cracking my bones and turning into my white, furred wolf. I carefully pick up my clothes between my teeth. I only have a few pairs and I can't afford to lose them. I look upwards and see the sky draping the blanket of darkness over itself. My wolf is in high spirits about finding a new place to live, as she never really liked this current temporary home of mine. I shake my head to left and right, lean back, and then with a huge jump begin my journey of discovering unknown and unmarked territories to survive for a while. I am Arabella. Just Arabella. I don't know my last name because I have never really known anyone from my family. The only person I distinctly remember is an old lady who I like to think of as my grandmother. Even she got killed in a brutal attack by an unknown pack's werewolves. I was very small then, and probably the reason I'm living today. Grandmother had hidden me as soon as she whiffed the scent of those four and evil wolves. Why the other werewolves couldn't smell and find me, I would never know. Because I remember, I was there, just there, hidden in the ground beneath a heap of leaves. They could have easily found and killed me. I was trembling, shaking with fear back then, but now, I am strong and way more powerful. Living as a rogue taught me things necessary for a wolf's survival and self-defense. I trudge along a steep, narrow valley kind of road and keep walking. I need to find a safe and secure place for shelter for the next few days. A place safe enough to hunt and then probably rest the entire day. I guess the sole purpose of my life now is surviving. That's all I gotta do. And I'm honestly very happy with the kind of life I live. I have survived in the same way for the past 19 years, and I sure as hell can do it in the future too. My wolf isn't happy about it though. She is not a typical wolf. Though I didn't really know what a typical wolf is like, I still know my wolf is different. Her name is Aficionados and she is beautiful, smart and rational. I have come across many other rogues while wandering through lands and forests, and I know how the majority of the female wolves are totally insane. They are only interested in the prospect of finding a mate and living with them. Aficionados wants that too, but she is intelligent enough to understand that being a rogue, that's next to impossible. I finally see a deep dark alley in the forest which seems a perfect shelter. I mind link Aficionados about her opinion. I like this place too. The last one gave me creeps, you know. Aficionados says, "Yes, I do know because you have mentioned that for about 100 times now." I point out, rolling my eyes. "No, I haven't. You are exaggerating it." Okay, Aficionados, as you say. I laugh at her defensiveness. But Ara, don't stop yet. I still want to roam around. Not fully satisfied. Well, aren't you getting greedy? Maybe. You can't help that. Though. We are halves. You have to abide by my wishes. Okay. Drama queen. Let's have a quick walk, but then I'm shifting back. Yad on. I start in the opposite direction from where I came. It's a beautiful place indeed. The moon is shining brightly in the sky, and that makes the night even more glittery. Aficionados is clearly enjoying herself, and I'm happy for her. I soon lose the track of time and let Aficionados take over. We keep walking and wandering, but Aficionados stops suddenly. I'm confused at first, but then I smell it too. The smell of other wolves. I'm high alert on my senses and sniff around. This place, it doesn't smell the same. Oh my God. Did we step into a pack territory? I can hear distinct steps approaching us and my worries are confirmed. Aficionados, what have you done? How could you step into a pack land? I don't know how I was just walking and admiring the forest. I didn't even slightly realize when we entered a pack territory. Whatever it is, Effiana, but we are deep trouble now. Let's get out of here. I quickly look around and I can see the pack border in my line of vision. If I run at full speed, I might cross the border and those wolves would be harmless then. I lunge forward and start running, but it's too late. I can hear footsteps approaching me faster and swifter than before. I still don't quit. Just a little bit of running and I'll be out of here. I turn around slightly to see two huge brown wolves running towards me at full speed. Shit. What have I gotten myself into? I increase my pace as much as I can, and I can tell Effiana is nervous as hell too. The borders are closer. I might just make it. Yes, I can't give up now. Just a few more lunges and I'll be out of here. Just as I'm about to take the biggest jump to cross the borderline, a gray wolf, much bigger than the brown ones, leaps at me out of nowhere and I'm pinned to the ground. Oh no. Using the granted forces is frightening how large and snarky the gray wolf looks. I have sure seen huge rogues before, but this wolf, well, he is a different story. His eyes are burning with fury as he glares at me. I look into his eyes and mind link him since I can't to him in the wolf form. I don't want to fight. Can we talk and sort this out? I mean no harm. I assure, and he seems to think about it. He raises his head and I guess mind links the other two wolves behind him. They immediately come and stand on the either side of my head at a good distance. Excuse me. You're invading my personal space right now by caging me like this. Gray Wolf slowly stands up and retreats cautiously as if expecting me to pounce on him any moment. He stands in front of me, his large figure looming over me. I get up too, standing with my ears up and alert for any movement from behind. I silently name the three wolves for my convenience. I decide on calling the two brown ones Brown and Brownby and calling the giant one Gray. It seems like minutes after Gray speaks to me. What are you doing here? Gray questions. As I said before, I mean no harm and I entered your pack land without realizing. I was just wandering around. You expect to believe that. Tell us, which pack sent you here to spy on us? Gray says threateningly, I am not a spy. I am a rogue and crossing your land's borders was a mistake. Why should we believe that you are a rogue, and that you are not spying in here? Are you really that dumb? Do you smell a pack smell on me? I am a rogue. Well, apparently, the dumb comment doesn't sit well with the two browns and they flash their canines in threat. But Gray cuts them off by continuing, no one enters a pack land by mistake. And even if you did, you are bound to be punished. Gray snarls. You cannot punish me for nothing. I did not harm your wolves or spy around. Just let me go and you will never see my face again. I say, trying to keep my cool. This isn't going as easy as I thought. These people are quite adamant about punishing me. Of course, trespassing in another's territory is a great offense. And when you are a rogue, well, the situation intensifies. But I may be able to talk my way out of this. I have too. Damn you, Effiana. You have violated our pack rules, and for that, you will be punished. Gray snaps. But I did not cause any damage, did I? Just let me go and this will be easier for all of us. Do you know who you are speaking to right now? Brownby speaks from behind. Yes, I am talking to an arrogant, non-rational wolf who doesn't know where to spend his energy. You guys will clearly waste your power fighting me because I am not a threat. I say, now getting angry. These wolves are fussing over a trivial matter. I see Gray's eyes darken in anger and I know this is going to be bad. You just insulted the beta of the Dark Moon Pack. Silly wolf. Prepare yourself for the worst. Brown graces me with his voice. Dark Moon. The deadliest pack in entire America. This pack is dangerous. Ruthless and they love killing wolves, and blood is their source of entertainment. Fiona has got us into some deep shit. I snort anyways and turn my head to the front to see Gray hovering in mid-air, lunging at me. I duck to the side immediately and Gray lands on the ground with easy grace. Well ho. Easy there, big guy. I growl as I barely miss the hit. He immediately turns towards me ready for his second attack. I prepare myself too. If these guys want to fight, I ain't going back. Gray retreats a few steps, lowering his anterior side, indicating the huge leap he will take at me. I retreat too and we both lunge at the same time. My paws dig into his skin and he bites on my side. I growl in pain but immediately gnaw Gray with my nails on the upper side of his neck. Gray just gives out a mild groan as if the pain was nothing for him. His teeth sink deeper into my flesh and I start losing energy. I stop resisting his bite and gather all my energy to push him away. I remove my paws from his neck in an instant, curl all my paws near his abdomen and throw him away. He is heavy though and resultant lie doesn't fall too far. Browna now leaps at me but I can tell he is weaker than Gray. Of course, Gray is the beta of the pack and so the power he radiates is completely normal. Browna scratches his nails on one of my front paws and at the same time, Brownbee jumps on me too. His teeth dig into my right side and I howl in pain. These guys are just too much. I muster up all my power and kick Brownbee and he lands farther than I expected. I bite Browna at all the available flesh to me and he immediately loosens his hold. I take that chance and throw him away too. Though I have overpowered them for now, I know I can't win against them. If I surrender, I'll be caged in their pack's prison for the rest of my life, and if I don't, they will kill me. Great options. I don't want to do what I have to do next. Browna and Bee are both on the ground trying to get up and Gray is already up and ready for his next attack. He walks towards me and I take a few steps back. His eyes shine devilishly with cruel violence shimmering out of him. He is about to jump at me again when I finally make my decision. Wait. Do not come any closer or you'll hurt yourself. Dark. Gray rumbles with laughter and keeps taking small menacing steps towards me. Really? The IWW, I am scared. He mocks and I snarl. I take quick steps and put a safe distance between us. My eyes wander around. I find a black tattered cloth lying near a tree on my left and immediately go pick it up between my teeth. I then go back and stand in front of the wolves. Browna and Bee mirror confusing expressions but Gray seems amused. He is enjoying this. He doesn't know what is coming at him. I shift and immediately wrap the black cloth around my naked body. The wolves widen their eyes in surprise, but now even Gray seems confused. I close my eyes and begin my chant. With utter concentration, I raise my hands in the air, move them from side to side, retreating closer to the borders at the same time. Just as I see Gray about to leap at me, I throw my hands in the front towards the wolves. Instantly, a ring of fire surrounds them and Gray freezes in his tracks. I smirk victoriously, feeling even more pride when I see all the wolves, especially Gray, dumbfounded. I quickly move to the other side of the borderline and relief washes over me. Gray collects himself and shifts, running to a tree and returning back wearing a pair of shorts. Not wanting to have this conversation, I start to leave. You're a primordial. Gray calls out and I turn with a sigh but happy at the same time. Yes, Mr. Beta. But don't worry. Just like I mentioned before, I don't mean any harm and I only use that power in my defense. You won't even ever see my shadow again. Goodbye. I turn onto my heels. I walk behind a nearby tree and shift back into my wolf form. Though I'm injured, I need to reach back to that dark alley soon, and that's not possible if I trot around in the human form. It was a narrow escape and I thank the moon for blessing me the elemental power. Phew. Encountering them Xalvador's POV snap, and the limp wolf falls to the ground lifeless. He thought challenging me was a good idea. I do not stand traitors. I either have loyal people or dead people. I remove my teeth from the neck of the stupid, cheating wolf and get onto my paws. He could not even scratch me, and he thought of overpowering me in a fight. I shift back to my human form and wear my pants kept ready on the side for me. I command my guards to dispose of the traitor's dead body. Alpha, Alpha. I hear my beta Axel calling out to me in a huffed voice. He reaches me breathless. We found someone when I went to the borders for patrolling. Axel says, "Who did you find?" A female rogue. Why would I care about a female rouge? What was up with Axel? Why are you telling me that? Did she harm any of our fighter wolves? No, Alpha, but she could have. She was a primordial. A fire elemental. He says and I freeze. A primordial. A fire primordial. That rogue wolf had one of the most dangerous elements of the earth within her control. Did you get her here? I ask. Impatient now. No, but we did fight her. She was quite strong, but we overpowered her. That is when she used her power to defend herself and encaged us in a fire ring. Strong. Of course. She would be strong. An elemental is an elemental after all. The moon gives such powers only to the ones she feels are capable. I have to have her. That wolf can make my pack stronger, and I can fight off those threats more easily. Get her, Beta. I want her. Get her and propose her to join the pack. Do whatever you have to. Find her, go. I command, and Axel is on his heels the next second. If I get this primordial, no one would be able to defeat me. No one. It's been a few days since my encounter with the daunting wolves of the Dark Moon. That night was some experience, but I shouldn't have used my elemental powers. Being a rogue, it was dangerous for me to openly showcase the gift of the moon goddess to me. I am elemental, and there are only 5 elementals in the world with me having the power of producing fire. I did not return to the same alley that night. It was dangerously close to the boundary of the Dark Moon pack. I wouldn't want any encounters with them now, would I? I walked all night and finally found a place good enough for shelter when the dawn graced the sky with its presence. So here I am now, in a small river, enjoying the cold water caressing my scars and bruises which still haven't healed completely. I get out of the water and dress myself in my old but washed clothes. It is still early morning. I could go for a good hunt and find some food for the day. I start walking. It seems like hours since I'm wandering in the forest with only some food gathered. The forest is quiet, but suddenly I feel something. A shift in the air. Some occasional noises. I look around. My eyes scanning every visible place sharply, but to no avail. I'm just being a paranoid again. Ever since the encounter with those wolves, I have been extra careful, extra precautious. I keep walking, but suddenly out of nowhere a hand with a cloth as forcefully lands on my nose. I smell it. It's a sleeping drug. Being a werewolf, I have stronger resistance, and I know it will be some minutes before the liquid does its job on my body. Without a second thought, I kick my legs backward with immense power and hit the unknown person. I turn to look at my attacker and am shocked to see the beta of the Dark Moon pack standing there groaning and clutching his man parts. I start feeling drowsy. I take off running. They are after me, and they have a purpose, which I presume is revenge for their defeat the other day. If I get caught this time, they won't spare me. I try to run, but my steps are not as swift as regular. My body feels heavy with each passing moment, and it feels like I will collapse to the ground any moment now. How those wolves found me, I don't know it. I turn slightly to the seed of Beta on his feet again, and 3 other wolves already on my trail. I look in the front and dash into a tree I didn't notice. I lose all my strength in the clash. Clutching my head, I fall to the ground with a thud. I force my eyes to open and see the beta and the wolves walking towards my lying form, and then everything goes black. Goodbye, world. I wake up with no idea of how much time it has been since I was attacked. My head hurts like hell and my eyelids feel heavy. I force myself into consciousness. My eyes flutter open and I look around, but all I see is black. Pitch black. I try to move and get up, but I find my hands tied up on either side of my body. My legs are free, and so I wiggle them around, trying to feel something. Anything. But I don't have the strength to. Whatever drug that was, it was really strong. It seems like ages, after which I hear footsteps at a distance. Suddenly a light flashes and my eyes shut due to the sudden intensity. I blink them open slowly and focus on my surroundings. The place I am held captive in seems like a basement. A large, very large basement. It's entirely empty and colored gray everywhere. There is a staircase on my right side, and that confirms my doubts. This is a basement. All the walls are gray and the floor is concrete. Each wall has shackles and hooks at regular intervals. I'm tied to a similar pair of shackles in a sitting position. I am thankful for that. I finally notice the brown shoes of the person standing in front of me. I look up to see him again. The damn beta. He did all this and he is the reason I'm tied here. Why am I here? I ask, relacing my voice. Straight to the point, Rogue. Come on. Where is the fun in that? The beta taunts. Listen, if this is about me crossing your pack boundary, then okay. I'm ready to bear the punishment. You can kill me if that's what you want, but stop toying with me. It wasn't that big of an offense, I say, my voice firm even though I feel exhausted. Oh no, Rogue. You are not here to be punished. In fact, you can benefit from us. He smiles, but I can see the hidden malice in his perfectly aligned teeth. Benefit. This is a manipulative game he is playing with me. That is exactly what the Dark Moon does. Torture their prey. They take pleasure in that. Bloody sadist. I'm not interested. Just finish whatever business that you have with Orthor, let me go. I see you are an impatient wolf. So for you, I'll get to the point. Finally. Our alpha was impressed when I told him what an immensely powerful fight you put up that day, and that's why he wants you to join our pack. I resist the urge to laugh at him. Does he really think any sane wolf would join their monster pack? Never. I would never want myself to even be associated with these ruthless beasts. Just like I said before, I'm not interested. I say in a bored tone. His eyes darken at my response, and I can say he is annoyed. You are an elemental, and so you shall also have a high rank in the pack. You'll have authority and power. But the only condition is you stay loyal, because we don't stand traitors. He pursues and I snort. This is what all this is about. He's never sated. Blood, craving monster alpha wants to use me to conquer other packs. He wants me because I am elemental. I should have thought of this. Of course. Why would a pack like Dark Moon want a homeless rogue and that to a she-wolf? I am not going to be the pawn in their ugly battles of conquering and torturing people. Hell no. I am never joining this pack, no matter what you tell me. You are wasting my time and yours. Just let me go. I have a life outside of here. The beta chuckles humorlessly. What life, rogue? Hunting and roaming aimlessly. Think about the offer. Here you will have a purpose, and in return, you will also get respect. Your power will be adored and admired. Just join the pack. Okay. Now this guy is really getting on my nerve. And I have a name. My name is Arabella, so stop calling me rogue every time. And as I have mentioned before, no matter what you say, I won't ever join the Dark Moon pack. Hunting and roaming of my free will is a life I prefer over your blood, thirsty pack. I say, and the beta's face hardens. The persistent beta does not give up immediately. He tries to reason and unthreatens me. When none of his tricks work, He says the one thing I had been dreading ever since I woke up here. Since you aren't giving up, I'll have to call my alpha, Arabella. I'm sure he can make you change your decision. Saying this, he walks away, his shoulders shaking with dark laughter, meeting the alpha. My hands are sweating and I can feel all my senses on high alert. It has been a while since the beta left to call his alpha, and I am actually scared as to what my fate is going to be. I don't know much about the Dark Moon's alpha, but over the years I have heard things, and so I know he is cruel, tortuous, vicious, and dangerous. All bad things. Once he's here, only two things can happen. He will either force me to join his pack by torturing me in the worst ways, or he will kill me. Simple as that. I have not ever felt so helpless as I feel right now. I can't fight, defend, nor escape. I hear loud thuds down the staircase and my heart hammers so loud in my chest. I feel like it will come out any second now. The alpha is here. If I thought I was feeling scared before, well, now the feeling has intensified by 100 times. But then I smell the most exotic and alluring scent I had ever inhaled. My senses are even more heightened and I find myself towards the smell. The fragrance is a mixture of fresh morning woods and the raw smell of pure wet soil. A figure appears from the less illuminated stairs and my eyes are all on the huge human from coming down teasingly slow. As the lighting gets brighter, the figure I suppose is the alpha becomes more clear. I first see his strong, gorgeously tanned arms, with muscles flexing as the hand moves even slightly. The broad shoulder line and chest come into view next, and my eyes linger on his body. Clad in a black inner vest and a blue denim, I can't free my eyes from the utterly tanned and defined body. I slowly bring my eyes up to his face and a soft gasp leaves my mouth. For I view the sharpest and the most amazing jawline I have ever seen, with a light stubble. He comes closer and bends down. I tremble with fear and he is inches away from me, and I look into his eyes. That's when I realize it. Mate. Effie almost squeals and I freeze of shock. His face shows a similar shock as he stares into my eyes. His eyes, my God, they are ocean green but blue too. A blend of colors I can actually describe. They darken as I look at him and a growl leaves his throat. He leans in closer to my neck and inhales my smell. I'm sure he would be disgusted. I was tied up in this furnace, like basement, for hours. But apparently, my mate smells something different and moans in approval. Mine. He growls and a stroke of pleasure runs down my body. I'm breathing hard and I can't focus on anything except his close proximity. I keep staring at his beautiful face and can't bring myself to look anywhere else. I had seen a few males in my entire life, let alone someone so handsome. Guards. Bring the keys and unlock her. My mate barks and guards come immediately and unhang me. I immediately rub my sore wrist and flex my muscles. I look at him again and see him staring at my wrist, his eyes burning with pure rage. What is your name? He asks, and his voice sends another swirl of pleasure down my spine. Ah, Arabella. That's all I managed to get out of my mouth. He hums in approval and leans in again, breathing my scent. I do the same and a strange sense of relief washes over me. I'm Xalvador. He says, his mouth so close to my ear. I can feel his breath there. Xalvador. I say, testing the name on my tongue, and he growls, grabbing my waist, his head resting on my neck. It seems like minutes we stay like that, and that gives me time to think. Xalvador is my mate. It's like I'm registering them for the first time, and I feel even more shocked than before. The alpha of the Dark Moon is my mate. The monster I despise is my mate now. I gather all my sanity and energy and pull myself back. Xalvador seems surprised at my actions, but then it's as if he realizes who I am for the first time, and his eyes harden. His jaw clenches and he stares at me. You are a rogue, he says, his voice lacing with disgust. I have heard things like this before, but hearing him say it hurts me, of course. No alpha would want their mate to be a rogue. A homeless rogue. And moreover, even I don't want to be his mate and be with a monster like him. I move away from him. Being this close to him isn't letting me think. Xalvador seems conflicted, huh? The big bad alpha can't decide if he wants a rogue as his mate or not. Pulling all my efforts and clearing my mind of all the lie thoughts, I look at him. He stays there for moments, doing nothing. He stands up suddenly and with loud, punishing steps walks up the stairs and out of the basement. After minutes of sitting there, doing nothing and feeling numb, I get up and start moving. I need to get out of here. This place. This land. I dash up the stairs and my eyes squint again to the afternoon sun. It's hot and I have no energy. I falter in my steps but regain my composure. I see a huge window which explains the sunlight. Looking to my left and right, I see long hallways on both sides. Feeling confused, I start on the right one. It seems like it will never end and I feel it was a wrong choice, but I still keep moving. Better to check the entire route than repenting later. I see 2 large rooms on either side of the hallway I am walking. I am about to turn when I see a large, huge and gigantic wooden door standing there. It's carved with the imprints of wolves killing and conquering other wolves. On the center is the carving of a large wolf with its one paw on the jaw of another small, visibly weaker wolf. It's made of mahogany wood and seems like an old door. I try to push it open, but my lack of energy causes the door to barely budge. I try again, and this time the door opens outward. I step out and see the green field around me. Relieved at finding the entrance, I get down the small steps and step on the field. I can see an army of wolves training all around, and many of them turn towards me when I start walking. I want to melt and avoid all the curious gazes, but I still hold my head high and walk towards the forest. The sooner I leave the pack land, the better. I get into the forest part without any interruptions and thank my stars. I increase my pace now and keep moving, trying to find a way out. I must still be at the beginning of the forest when I hear the loudest and most dangerous growl I have ever heard. Sensing danger, I start running, as fast as I can, but then I hear footsteps behind me. I turn to see Xalvador running after me, growling and burning with rage. Why the hell is he angry and why is he chasing me? I can't let him catch me. I think and put every ounce of my power into running. Aficionados nags at me in displeasure and I can't believe it. Never has she ever left my side until now. But I guess that changes when you find your mate. I know this is stupidity. No matter how fast I run, I cannot overcome the speed and agility of an alpha. Alphas are stronger, swifter, and every power is multiplied by 100 times within them. And this is Alpha Xalvador we are dealing with here. I finally lose the battle when Xalvador catches on me with easy grace. He grabs my wrist and pins me to the ground. He takes both my hands into one of his and holds them above my head. I'm panting furiously, cursing Aficionados for siding with the monster. An immense amount of pleasure runs through me, presumably because our skins are in touch and I hate it. Xalvador leans near my ear, our bodies totally compressed. He clutches my chin with his free hand and makes me look at him. Where did you think you were going? He growls with anger. Away. Away from you, away from you, away from your pack. And as it is apparent that you don't want a rogue as your mate. I say breathlessly, the last part escaping my mouth involuntarily. Xalvador growls again and his grip tightens on my chin. His lips hover over mine and I inhale our mingled breaths. Of course I want you. I was just in a moment at that time. Don't you ever try to leave. You will never run again. Understand? Or the consequences won't be good, Arabella. He threatens in a voice so soft, you would think he was whispering sweet words to me. The way he says my name has my insides melting into pool of submission, but I am not giving in. I squirm and try to wiggle out of his grip, but he is too strong. No, Alpha. I am not giving up my freedom or my life just because you, out of the blue, turn out to be my mate. Let me go. It hurts me to say these words, but that's the truth. It was my stupid wolf heart who wanted to give in to this monster, but I know better. Don't make me force you, Bella, because that might hurt you. I don't want that. I don't want to hurt my mate, so just give up. You can try with all your might, but you will never leave me. I won't let you. Get that? He says in a dangerously possessive voice, and I whimper. He bends down and kisses my neck so lightly. I doubt if he even did it. His lips trail up to my chin and then my jaw, dropping feathery, addictive kisses. My skin burns everywhere his lips touch it, and I stop myself from making sounds of approval. Just as his lips hover over mine, I turn my face sideways and he growls in displeasure. I try to push him off me, but he hardly budges. My God, what has the moon goddess gotten me into? Xalvador, please move, I say firmly, and manage to remove my hand from his grip. I push him away with all my might, and he lets me go this time. My feet wobble as I stand. No food and all this running have made me drowsy. Xalvador gets up to and immediately scoops me into his arms. He starts walking as if I weigh nothing, and I try to make him put me down. I thrash again and he stops, glaring down at me. Bella, stop fighting. I'm not putting you down. It is better you take some rest. You are tired, he states, and I know he is angry. Angry because I am in this condition because of him. That is just how mate bonds work. Weighing my options, I realize that struggling and trying to run would be a waste time right now. I reluctantly relax my body and close my eyes. Xalvador seems happy about it and pulls me closer to his chest. I once again admire his heavenly body and muscles, but fatigue soon takes over and I fall into a peaceful sleep with only one thought on my mind. I have to get away from this monster. I have to fighting the inevitable. I wake up exhausted, but thankfully my head isn't hurting. I slowly open my eyes, fearing the next scene. I sit up slowly to notice I'm only in my inner garments. Oh shit. Who the hell undressed me? Don't tell me it was Xalvador. My face burns with mortification at the thought. I panic and look around. I'm in a huge room with mahogany walls, and the bed I'm laid on is again huge and all clad in dark purple silk which could almost pass for black. The walls are plain with only two paintings. Both are a blend of textures and canines and colors, something I really can't decipher. I get out from the bed and walk around the room. I see a glass door with brown wooden borders and open it. I presumed it be a bathroom, but to my surprise, it turns out into a very big walk-in closet. Good for me. I do need clothes. I quickly search for something appropriate to wear, but it's all male junk. I finally decide on a large T-shirt and plan my next move. I am probably in the pack house, and leaving it in the presence of their alpha will be a challenge. I look around the room to get some idea, but find nothing. It is early in the morning, and I decide to first find out where the exit is. If I want to successfully leave, I have to have it all planned. I walk towards the door, praying and chanting for it to be unlocked. From the kind of monster Xalvador is, I can't be sure. But to my relief, the door is open and I poke my head outside. I see a hallway on my right side and a plain, brown wall on the left. I quickly tiptoe and explore the place around. I don't know in what room I was, so I have to discover the route for my exit. On the way, I see a big black plastic bag lying on the floor, and that strikes an idea. I pick it up and crumpling it, and shove it in a pocket. I discover I'm on the second floor of the house, and just in front of the stairs is a large lobby leading to the entrance. Once satisfied with my research, I go back to the room to work on my next move. Running away would be an idiotic move. Knowing how smart and quick the alpha he risen to it. On top of that, he is also my mate. The minute I enter the room, I hear footsteps. My heart rate spikes up, but I know I have to act fast. I quickly remove the shirt and shove it under the blanket with the plastic bag, hiding it. Next, I get into the bed and close my eyes, turning my back to the door. Seconds after that, the door opens and someone walks in. The footsteps get closer to the bed and my heart thumps so loudly, I'm sure the entire pack house can hear it. Oh, a hand comes from behind and caresses my hair. I pretend to not notice and keep faking the deep sleep. Bella. The voice, which I now know is Xalvador's, breathes near my ear. It takes every ounce of my self-control to not to squirm or react. My eyes remain shut and I try to calm my breathing, or it will give everything away. Keep sleeping. You mean it, he says, and Fiona squirms in pleasure. The footsteps retreat and I give out a sigh of relief. Thank God. As the door closes, I wait for some time and then get up. I see a sandwich on the bedside table and hurriedly eat that up. If I'm planning to escape from this hell, I might as well gather some energy. I redress in the white-colored shirt and taking the plastic bag, I walk into the closet and fill it with some clothes. The plan in my mind is so silly, but I can't help but try it. Because apart from that, I have no other choice. After the bag looks stuffed enough, I grab a shawl and wrap it around my head and my face. I can go as a trash disposer or cleaner and maybe nobody will notice. From my limited experience, I know that cleaners in the pack houses are usually non-warrior wolves and hence not really important in the warrior's owns of the pack house. I know this is foolish as hell, but that's all I can come up with now. I also take some sweatpants and wear them. I quietly leave the room. I am still tired and my sore wrists burn, but I can't wait till I heal completely. I start on the memorized route to the house entrance and open the door slowly. The lesser noise I make, the better. Again, the door is huge, but this time, I am well rested and less hungry than before, so I find it easier to push it open. I start walking down the steps and reach the training field. There are so many wolves. It seems as if the entire pack is on the ground. I clutch the shawl tightly and with the bag in my hand, keep walking. As expected, a huge wolf comes up to me and asks me about my whereabouts. Who are you and where are you going? He asks, suspicious of my look and dress. I take a breath and try to sound as normal as I can, as submissive as I can. I am the new cleaner here. I was just going towards the forest to discard all this. I raise my black stuffed bag slightly towards him. All trash and garbage, I mutter, eyes cast downwards. He still looks doubtful, but then nods and walks away. Phew. Thank the moon. I keep walking normally. If I increase my pace, I will draw unwanted attention. After walking for a good half an hour, I near the pack house's end. It's where the forest area begins. Though it's still the pack land, I can wrestle my way out of here, but not there, in the presence of him. I am a small distance away from stepping into the forest when I spot an absolutely huge man standing there, clad in shawls similar to mine. He is his back to me and I think about changing my direction. I'm about to do just that when the man speaks in a gruff voice. Where are you going, lady? He says in thick voice and I sigh in relief. I just have to repeat the same explanation. I have the new cleaner hired here and the seniors sent me to throw all this garbage in the woods. I say calmly and he grunts in approval. He motions for me to go and I walk. Nice. That was easy. Suddenly his voice booms again. Vampire deception. By Drake Mason and E.Y. Gwitt. As an undocumented changeling, I'm forced to code as a low-level witch. I stiffen hearing the words but don't turn around. Can I see what's in the black bag? He asks, but it feels like an order. His voice sounds foreign and familiar at the same time. Oh, as I said, it's all trash and I'm sure you don't want to see it. You know, all the gross stuff is in there. I say, lacing my voice with disgust. But I want to. Turn around, he says again and turns slowly, thinking of a plan to manipulate him. But when I turn around, I gasp loudly, in shock and surprise. Standing there in all glory is a smirking Xalvador, and I see it. He is angry. No, he is very, very angry. The smirk is a facade. I see the shawl sprawled at his feet and groan inwardly. Damn it. Xalvador moves towards me. Slowly, his steps like that of a predator cornering its prey. I keep walking back with no idea of where I'm heading. My reverse walking trick comes to a sudden halt when I crash into a tree and yelp in fear. I close my eyes and pray for the ground to swallow me or the tree to eat me. I feel him before I see him. His eyes are burning with rage and fury and his body is as if trembling with anger. He smiles at me, not a real smile but a cold, devilish smile. He leans in closer to me, breathes my scent and that seems to calm him. His body stops shaking and his lips move up to my ear. What did I say about running, Bella? He asks in a low, dangerous, and menacing voice. I can't reply because I have no answer. I knew you were going to do something like this. When I came into the room, I could hear your heart thumping, your uneven breathing, your body's reaction when I called your name, your slight squirm when I ran my hand through your hair. It was all clear as a day. My doubt was confirmed when I saw the tuck shirt snooping out from the blanket. I just wanted to see how far you would go with your stupid little stunt. But Bella, he reveals, slowly and emphasizing each word. The shock now is bigger than the shock I had when I saw him here. He knew the entire thing all along. How could I be so stupid? How could I assume that my mate, the one that is supposed to be my other half, won't be able to sense my feelings and reactions? Stupid, stupid, stupid me. Xalvador now moves his face from my ear to my front. You cannot escape me, Arabella. You are my mate, damn it. He growls, his eyes piercing into mine, and I squint my eyes close. He takes my chin into his grasp and that forces me to open my eyes. I see his large figure looming over me, and I realize just how powerless I am right now. I could use my elemental powers, but I know Aficionados won't cooperate. Inner wolves cannot hurt their mates intentionally, and Aficionados is no exception. Xalvador's other hand creeps to my waist and he pulls my body into his. I straighten towards him, almost on my tiptoes, breathing fast. The attraction is immense and Aficionados is delighted. His lips press onto my neck and I squeal in surprise. He withdraws and stares into my eyes again, holding them. You cannot ever run from me, Bella. And don't make me repeat myself or the consequences will be something you won't like. With these few words, Xalvador seals my fate and I know it would be almost impossible to escape now. Hello to the pack. Xalvador drags me back to the pack. Halfway through the road, I regain my senses and realize what's happening. I scream suddenly and he stops, turning back to me. I glare at him, gathering all my courage. Let me go, Mr. Alpha, I say, and his eyes darken. What did you just say? He growls at me and I cower in fear inwardly. Damn, he is huge. I said leave me and let me go. I don't want to be your mate. As soon he hears this, I'm roughly pushed back to a tree with my body pinned by his. Pleasure spikes and Aficionados does an inner dance. Xalvador growls at me and my eyes narrow a bit fear. First of all, call me Xalvador and not Mr. Alpha. You are my mate, chosen by the moon goddess, and you have no say in that. Don't test me again and again by talking about running and leaving Bella because I'm not a man with a lot of patience. Don't make me lose it. He snarls, staring right into my hazel orbs. All my gathered courage sprints away. The way he is looking at me is so cold and so threatening. I don't know what to do. He looks exactly the reason I don't want to be his mate. Dangerous, deadly, and monstrous. A controlling, domineering, heartless monster. My eyes prickle with tears, but I refuse to cry and break myself in front of him. He senses this and his eyes soften by a fraction. Tell me you won't leave or run again. He asks me in a demanding tone. I stay quiet. If I can't be away from him, I might as act like I am. I can ignore him. Because the very sight of him makes my blood boil. Say it, Bella. He growls, clutching my arms into his huge hands. At the contact, sensations arise and flow through my body, and Efiona is lashing at me, telling me to accept him and embrace him. But I won't give in. When I don't reply, Xalvador growls in frustration and pulls me with him, walking towards the house. We soon enter the house, and almost all the wolves training on the field look at me in curiosity. Xalvador keeps walking, ignoring them, and we enter the pack house. He takes me to the same room I ran from. Another pang of disappointment flows through me. It's as if I just realized how my perfect plan failed. He pulls me into the room and closes the door. My breath hitches and I'm scared of what he might do next. He sizes me from top to bottom and then walks to the phone resting on the table. He barks some orders which I don't quite listen to because I am fascinated by the flex of his muscles. No matter how much I hate him, my body wants him and I can't do anything to change that. Apart from, of course, killing him. The door to the room opens and I snap out my daze. A woman, probably in her 50s, walks in with some bags. She bows her head in front of Xalvador, to which he responds with a curt nod and places everything on one side. She quickly leaves, but not before stealing a glance at me. As soon as she leaves, Xalvador turns to me and basically orders me, "You have 30 minutes. Go and have a shower, get dressed, and come down to my office. Don't be late and don't even think about not following this. Because if you don't, I'll personally make sure you have a bath and get dressed. Get me, Arabella." I gulp and nod at his seriousness. I assume that the bag has clothes in it. He confirms my assumption soon. Everything that you would need will be in these bags. They are not your clothes, but we'll have them arranged for you soon. Till then, this stuff will have to do. He says with his brows furrowed and then walks out of the room. I sigh and fall on the bed. I curse the moment I entered this pack's land. Efiona. It's all because of her and now she is happy. But what about me? I don't want to be here. I was happy as a rogue, living free, not having monsters ordering me around, and doing whatever the hell I wanted to do. But no, the moon goddess had to pair me with a killer like him. After wasting at least 10 minutes, I quickly run to the bathroom, fearing Xalvador might actually do what he said. I step in and awe at the luxury I see. This bathroom is pure heaven. It has a huge-sized rectangular bathtub and the marble tiles are a beautiful mix of white and gray. There are various cabinets with every possible sanitary thing present in them. It takes me a few moments to figure out the faucet system. Once I do, the hot water I immerse into feels like paradise. Since I wasted time, I quickly clean myself and use the soap and shampoo present there. Both things smell like Xalvador and I hate to use anything related to him, but I have no choice. Post my quick bath, I wrap myself into a towel that is probably Xalvador's and scan the items in the bag. I don't find many appropriate clothes. Some seem too small and some seem too big. I finally decide on a blue and white dress that has a floral print on it. I get dressed and also find a comb in the bag. I just remove the tangles and let my hair stay down. I also find a makeup kit inside that I don't use. I don't have a habit of putting on makeup, nor do I really know how and what to use. And even if I did, I would never dress up for him. I just apply a cherry lip balm and ready myself for facing the monster again. I reach down and I realize that the place is exceptionally wide. There are 3 hallways and I don't know where to go. I see the same lady from before and I walk to her inquiring about Xalvador's office. She offers to take me there herself and I thank her politely, to which she smiles in what seems like a slight surprise. She drops me near a large wooden door and motions for me to go in. I take in a breath and knock, half hoping that Xalvador isn't present in there and I can walk back up. But my luck abandons me, and the next second, I hear the devil reply, "Come in." His deep voice booms and I shakingly open the door. I walk inside and stand there, not knowing what else to do. Xalvador looks at me and scans my appearance, looking seemingly pleased. He gets up from his seat and walks towards me. I think about moving back, but I know I can't escape him. So I stand there while he reaches me. He leans into my neck, inhaling my scent and sighs and seeming content. One of his hands wraps around my waist and I feel like running from him and embracing him at the same time. "I like your scent better now. You smell like me and that shows you are mine. And as much as I liked my shirt on you, this dress makes you even more alluring and hard to resist," he says huskily near my ear, his lips occasionally landing on my neck, giving me shivers. I try to control my erratic breathing and he moves back. He smirks smugly when he sees my flustered condition. Oh, he has nothing to be smug about. It's the bondmaid that is causing the attraction. Xalvador holds my hand and takes me outside onto the field. He stands before the training wolves and looks at them. Wolves of Dark Moon Pack. He shouts in an animalistic voice and the wolves all stand to attention, leaving aside whatever they were doing. I see the beta coming towards the front with another wolf. They all stand there, listening intently to what their alpha has to say. Even I'm doing the same. "This here is my mate, Arabella," he announces and stops to gauge everyone's reaction. I feel flustered again and my face burns. I didn't know he wanted to introduce me to his pack. So soon, there are murmurs all around and some gasps too. Some smile lightly while some seem astonished. I can't say much now. Not that I care if the pack accepts me. I don't want them to. I can easily escape if they don't want me as their alpha's mate. And therefore, also your future Luna. I want you all to respect her and take care of her needs here. I will not tolerate any kind of disobedience or mistakes when it comes to providing comfort to her. Is it clear? He growls and everyone nods frantically. Some grunt a curt yes, while some just mutter an attentive hum. He turns to me and then speaks. "Bella, this is my pack, my wolves and my fighters, all trained and strong. And this here is my beta, Axel, and my third in command, Liam," he says, introducing me to the 2 wolves on my right. Beta Axel nods at me and so does Liam. I just look around blankly, not knowing how to react. "So wolves," he yells again. "I should not see or hear of anyone disrespecting my mate near Luna. If I do, I will not hesitate to snap that neck," he says threateningly, and I can see the fear arise in everyone's eye. Of course. They must all be aware of how merciless my monster mate is, but I need to clear out things. This obey me and stuff is not something I know or want to know. If I have to stay here, then it has to be a normal stay. And I'm not their Luna, nor will I ever be. I would die before letting Xalvador mark me or accepting him as my mate. I take a step forward and silence endless the crowd. Even Xalvador seems surprised and nods for me to speak. I start awkwardly, not knowing what exactly to say. Excuse me, guys. I mean wolves. Of the Dark Moon Pack. I just wanted to say that you don't have to call me Luna. I wouldn't like that because I'm not your Luna. And also I want to be treated normally because I'm just a normal wolf too. In fact, I was packless only some days ago. So I just want to say that you guys don't have to act around me like I am some special person. If I'll be living here, then it has to be a life that you all live. A normal one. Yeah, that's all. I manage, feeling slightly content. Some wolves from the crowd smile at me fondly and some nod slightly. They, Axel and Liam look both confused, but then Liam gives me a smile. I turn to gauge Xalvador's reaction and he doesn't look too happy about it. Well, not my concern. He can't force everything. I walk back into the house after waving at the large crowd of wolves, not wanting to stand there and be the center of attention. Challenge, I go inside the house and walk towards the staircase. I reach Xalvador's room but don't enter. Soon after he appears beside me and waits for me to go in. Why are you standing here? He asks when he realizes that I wasn't planning on entering. I want another room, I say, although I already know what his answer is going to be. That's not even a point to argue. You will stay in here with me. I just told my entire pack about you and you still think I'll let my mate stay in another room. Stop being stupid, Bella. Xalvador growls and I growl back. You want me as your mate. I don't. I still want to back and live as a rogue and be free instead of being in the clutches of a monster like you. I growl. His jaw stiffens. Now that you know I'm a monster, also know I don't do what I don't like. Want it or not, you are my mate and you will stay in the same room as me. He says and opens the door, pushing me in with him. I free my arm from his grip and sit on the bed. Xalvador comes towards me and I go back. He sighs and then wards off angrily to the bathroom. A girl of about 19 years knocks at the partially open door. Yeah, come in. I say, and it feels ordering and granting permission to people. Hello, Luna. I'm Maisie and I'm here to take your measurement to get your new clothes and accessories. If you would you please stand up, she says timidly with a polite smile. I'm sorry, but you don't have to call me Luna. You can call me Arabella. I would really appreciate that. I say, and her eyes widen. I call you by your name, Lun. Can I call you Miss Arabella? She asks and I smile, nodding in affirmation. And yeah, you can take the measurements. I say the last part slowly, my voice fading sadly. Thank you, Miss Arabella. Who the hell do you think you are? Calling my mate Miss Arabella. Xalvador shouts at Maisie appearing from the bathroom and the girl cowers in fear. Stop it. I told her to call me that. It's not her fault. I say quickly and his eyes snap at me with a murderous glare. He is about to say something but seeing Maisie, he shuts up and I breath out in relief. I smile assuring lie at Maisie and she kneels down at my feet shivering, taking measurements with a long tape. Maisie pinches and teases my body at several points and when she reaches my chest, I realize that Xalvador hasn't stopped staring in my direction. I see him looking exactly where Maisie's hands are working with hooded eyes and I feel awkward. The mate bond loves the attention and Fiona is proud. I look away from his scrutinizing gaze and sigh audibly when Maisie finishes her work. Xalvador gets up as soon as we are alone. I'm cornered near the wall and he approaches me slowly. His eyes are full of lust and I'm worried that he might mark me in the heat of the moment. Why did you do that, sugar bun? He asks huskily and my legs tremble. Sugar bun. I ask, my voice hoarse due to the close proximity. Yes, a name that suits you perfectly. He says and Fiona does a happy dance at the new name. I don't want you to call me that, I say and he leans in closer, closing his eyes. It doesn't matter if you want that or not, sugar bun. I like it and I'll do as I please. He says next to my ear. I shove him lightly on the shoulder and move away. He is about to what seems like shout at me when his eyes roam upwards. A mind link. He looks at me after minutes and then says, "I have work that I have to attend, sugar bun. You can roam the house and do as you please." But he accentuates, "Even try to escape and I will make sure you are never out of my sight, even for a moment." He warns and leaves for the door. He stops abruptly, turns and reaches me. He breathes my scent, closes his eyes and then growls in my ear. "Also stay away from unknown male wolves," he says and leaves with thumping steps. I sigh and roam in the room for a while. I study the paintings again, but my efforts turn out futile again when I seem to understand them. I then go out of the door and explore the house. The floor of Xalvador's room itself is very wide and large. There are several rooms which could possibly be of the beta and the other high-ranked wolves. There is another small room which has a staircase in it. I want to see where it leads, but I decide against it. This is not my house to roam and discover. I just have to acquaint myself with the necessary places. I walk down the stairs and reach the ground floor. The place is so open and so mansion-like. I find a door which leads to the kitchen and the hallway below the staircase, and it's huge. I'm guessing all the wolves eat here together. Even now I see some wolves eating and a cook pouring out a drink for the others. A few people glance at me and I close the door quickly. After roaming in the house for half an hour and getting lost at least thrice, I notice a thing. There are no direct open spaces here. For every room, be it the living room or the kitchen, there is a huge door leading there. And the centralized place is clear with the marble tiles forming a beautiful round design. Again, it's in black and white with only a tinge of color at places. I decide to go to the first living room. Yes, there are 3, which is the only one that has a television. I walk into the room and sit on the white sofa in the center. I figure out the remote and switch it on, flipping channels till I find something of my interest. I finally settle on a movie which has just begun, so I know I am not missing anything. The movie turns out pretty hilarious and I'm laughing loudly when another laugh joins mine. I shut up quickly and turn around to find a familiar wolf from earlier. He looks at me and smiles. His smile is wide and so contagious. I can't help but smile back too. I now remember him. He is Liam, the Alpha's third in command. "I miss Arabella," he says, and I like him instantly. He's not calling me Luna like the others. "Hey, you are Liam." "Right. The pack's third in command," I say, and he nods, sitting on the sofa but at a good distance. "Yeah. You know, I was surprised when I searched with Alpha Xalvador. I thought you would be cowering in fear, since that's the reaction most people give out. But you are quite brave in the way you talk to the pack. It was pretty impressive," he says, and I blush a little. "At least not all are monsters here." "Oh, that. Well. I don't agree with things I don't feel are right. And your Alpha is way too rude and arrogant for his own good," I say, frowning at the thought of Xalvador. "I wouldn't comment on that, as he is my Alpha. But I can understand if you are not ready to be the Luna yet. I was confused when I first saw you, but then Axel told me the whole story," he says truthfully, and I smile at him again. He is loyal to Xalvador, even though he is a monster. That's a quality to admire. Yeah, that's very loyal of you to do that. And about being the Luna, I don't think I'll ever be ready or even want to be the Luna of this pack for that sake. I hope Xalvador gets frustrated enough after I deny him constantly and then lets me go," I say, wishing exactly what I'm saying. Knowing Alpha Xalvador, he's a very possessive person. So you being free is quite an impossible concept to me. And even if he gives up on you as a mate, I don't think he will let an elemental slip from his hands," he says, his eyes twinkling with curiosity. I smile sadly. "Yeah. This is the only time I feel like the power I have is a curse. I sigh. Liam laughs lightly and, detecting my mood, switches the conversation. I have been with Liam for an hour or so and I can't stop laughing. The guy is full of life and funny as hell. He gives me the hope that my stay here won't be as bad as I think. He tells me another of his jokes and I laugh again, clutching my stomach. The door to the living room opens suddenly when I'm hitting a high five to Liam. I look up, my face still carved in a laugh to see the monster is back. My smile turns into a frown when I see him glaring at Liam. Liam just shrugs with a small laugh and holds up his hands in surrender. He leaves the room with a smile and a goodbye to me, and Xalvador glares at him again. He keeps glaring at his back until Liam disappears from his line of vision. He then turns to me and I gulp. Seemed like you were enjoying yourself. He says with a small growl, yes, Liam and I are friends now. I say honestly and his eyes darken a bit. Make sure you maintain distance with your friend. He says, coming dangerously close to me. I look at him, about to say something, but he wraps his hand around my waist possessively and says, you are mine and only mine, sugar bun. Remember that. I sigh at his words. Thank you so much for joining me in this obsession with werewolves. I hope you've had a great time and can't wait to come back for more. Remember to subscribe, leave your comments, and share this passion with others. Until next time, keep being obsessed.